Hello, my name is Bill Haley, and this is for Haley 2024, The Movements, Government Reform Ideas. Now, this video is going to be on currencies. How are we going to do currencies under the Haley 2024 reforms within the CRA structure, within the competitive governance structure? This is a second video of 9. I'm breaking it up into 9 sections to describe the new currency. Then I'll probably do one video to do all of it. So this one's going to be on the operations of an MCAP, a monetary capital asset portfolio. Now, Haley 2024 calls for competitive governance, so the banking is going to do the same thing. Every person gets to pick the bank that they want to use. Every bank gets to pick the regulatory agency they want to use. Standards will increase when people know the value and the standards that they are dealing with. So nobody wants to go to a bank that has really low standards for the consumer, all the protections to the bank. They're going to have a nice balance. So let's go through it. We're going to go through really quickly the 9 different videos I'm going to do. One was creating a monetary currency asset portfolio. I did that already. Look for that. Oh, by the way, we are in December of 2021 right now, so all the videos are going to be right there. The operations of the MCAP, that's what we're doing right now, how we're going to operate it. The back dollar, sinking of values, how that's going to work. When we have competitive currencies. Gain and loss, all the currencies are going to gain and loss all the time, and we're going to discuss that. The MCAP selling up from the gain and loss, we're going to discuss that. Assets of an MCAP, oil, precious metals, loans, stocks, bonds, everything, we're going to discuss all that. Keeping the values of the assets honest, people are going to have that first reaction that they're not going to be honest, and we have ways to deal with that. The Federal Reserve and the transition, how we're going to do that. And then the practical use of competitive currencies. So we're going to split that up. This is a second video. Again, all of them will be right there in December on all my social media platforms and my website. Okay, the operations of MCAP. So you already have to know how the MCAP was created. You put assets into a storeroom and you issue currency directly from those assets, the exact value. Okay, buyers and sellers will exchange the CRA currency in the regular economy. That's what currency is. You just exchange it. Currency will have value, backed up value. Ownership rights. The owner of a CRA currency always has an ownership right to exchange their appropriate amount of CRA currency for any asset in the MCAP. So that storeroom of assets, anybody can go in there at any time with the appropriate amount of CRA currency to pull out whatever assets they want, appropriate amount of currency for the right price. All the prices of the assets have to be listed and where they're at. So already went through that on the other video. As more assets are added to the MCAP, each unit of the CRA currency is worth a smaller percentage of the MCAP to accurately keep the worth of each unit of the CRA currency the same. These are statewide, by the way. Federally, we're going to deal with that. That's going to be another video. But I know that question came up in my mind when I said all that, so I said it right there. Okay, new CRA currency is created based off additional assets deposited in the MCAP, and the currency is destroyed when the assets are taken out of the MCAP. So it takes currency to it takes assets to create the currency, and when the assets are taken out of the MCAP, it's exchanged for the currency, and the currency disappears because you can only have as much currency as you do assets. CRA currencies that is traded in for an asset from the MCAP becomes worthless. Just talked about that because the worth was taken away from the MCAP. The unit of CRA currency turned in for an asset vanishes. The holder of a CRA currency has the right to pick any appropriately priced asset in the MCAP. Boy, did I get ahead of myself on that. Many locations in every city will have assets for the MCAP for easy accessibility. So I know these MCAPs are statewide, but every city will have a storeroom of stocks, bonds, precious metals, barrels of oil, obviously not the physical barrel, but ownership rights to commodities and just loans and different things. A lot of assets. Every unit of CRA currency derives its value from assets in the MCAP. The value of a unit of currency, the CRA currency, is the value of the complete MCAP divided by the number of units of CRA currency issued. And again, we have, this is combined with, you can only issue as many currency units as you do assets, the value of the assets in the MCAP. If people traded all their CRA currency for the assets, the last unit of CRA currency would take the last asset from the MCAP. So 0 is going to end up being 0. It starts 0, it ends 0. So these monetary capital asset portfolios, they're going to start off with 0. New ones are going to start up whenever they can. We'll get into that later. But then they're going to obviously they're going to at some point end as well. If they drop below a certain threshold, they're going to have to sell off all their assets, and the last unit of currency will take the last asset. Exactly. So I'm going to do several more videos for this, 9 altogether. This was the second one, and until the next video.